We start this episode with the news that a trio of much-loved retro titles are getting revived. The most significant of these is that Capcom is remaking Resident Evil 2, after substantial fan pressure to do so. There probably won't be any more information on when it will be released until Resident Evil 0 is launched in spring next year. The other two games getting a dust down are Turok Dinosaur Hunter and Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, with both being remastered for today's modern computers with enhanced graphics and other improvements, according to the restoration company Night Dive Studios. I'm betting that they'll struggle to improve the cerebral bore though. No release date for either has been given yet, but they will be available solely on PC through the Humble Bundle store, Good Old Games, Gamersgate, Green Man Gaming, and the developer's official website. Not much else to mention in this section, but if you can manage to replicate this glitch in Super Mario 64's Tick Tock Clock level, YouTuber Panen Koek 2012 will happily give you $1,000, apparently. Surprisingly, there was just one retro offering on Nintendo systems this month, but at least it was a fantastic remastered version of the superlative shooter Gunstar Heroes. Available on the 3DS's eShop, it'll cost you £4.99 to download. Sony fans got just as little though, with only another Arcade Archives title becoming available for PlayStation 4 owners through PSN, this time Mat Mania Exciting Hour. So it was up to mobile devices to save the day, with Final Fantasy VII getting released on iPhone and iPad. Square Enix have slapped a hefty £11.99 price tag on it, but it has made some additions, such as the ability to turn off the random battles. To round off things, Pac-Man also led the mobile retro charge in August, with 2 releases on both iOS and Android. The first is an endless runner style game from Crossy Road developer Hipster Whale called Pac-Man 256. It involves being chased by the infamous wave of glitches you encounter on the original Pac-Man's 256th level, and is well worth checking out, I'd say. The second is Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, and is also rather good. To open this section, a device called the FDSStick has been created for the Famicom. It's a USB adapter which imitates the Disk System add-on for the console, and if that sounds right up your alley, then one will set you back roughly $40 US. Next up, the Super Nintendo Flash cartridge SD to SNES has received Pro Action Replay cheat code support. So if you're fed up of playing fair, you can download it by clicking the relevant link in this video's description. To finish this section, there were a couple of Game Boy related announcements. The first of these was that some tech boffins are working on improving the software used on the Game Boy Player accessory for the GameCube by creating an alternative called the Game Boy Interface. It promises enhanced colours, less blurring, and crisp 240p output, and I'll be sure to update you when, or if, it becomes publicly available. The second is that an SD card adapter for the Game Boy camera called the BitBoy has been revealed. One will set you back $65 US, but no release date has been given for it just yet. A fair amount of Homebrew came out last month, including physical versions of the previously unreleased SNES titles Dorke and Yimp and Cornbuster, as well as the formerly China-only Water Margin for the Mega Drive. All 3 of these are available from Pico Interactive's website, with prices starting from $40 US. Heroes and Cowards, the Pentagram of Power for the Commodore 64, was also made available to buy this month, with a copy costing you €35. Next up, Double Action 53, Volume 2, a collection of 16 NES Homebrew titles on one cartridge, was put up for sale in August. Some of the games include Chase, Double Action Blaster Guys, Sliding Blaster, and Solar Wars. Released by Infinite NES Lives, a copy will set you back $40 US. Not all retro homebrew released this month will make you open your wallet though, with both Bruce Lee Atari Throwback for the Sega Master System and Liquid Space Dodger for the Mega Drive being available to download for free. Finally, it was announced that the much anticipated Dreamcast shooter Ghost Blade will be released on the 27th of September. The cheapest version will cost you €32.95, with 1,000 limited edition versions being available for €20 more. A load of NES games got fan translations this month, including Pachinko Daisa Kusen 1 and 2, Stinger, Taito Grand Prix Iku E no License, and the Japanese prototype version of Monster Party. And to round off things was Shujin Haiki Zero Aiga for the PC FX. Hey, thanks for watching. That's all for this month then, but what do you think of the news in this episode? Let me know by leaving a comment. Also consider giving this video a like if you want to keep this series going, and sharing it with anyone you think would find it interesting. I really do appreciate it. You can also check out my recently released retrospective of the Turok series on Game Boy by clicking the link on the right here.
It blew a building apart! It's simply incredible!